Undergrunt.
You have something against books?
I have nothing about books. I am curious about the books in your trunk.
You see, I was thinking of writing a story, so I brought this one on how to do it.
Why do you need 25 copies of it?
In case I want to read it more than once.
Ship in the center of Mars was a sack of souls with experiment scars. When the second of the monk said, I'll take two, and he put them in a rocket and he ate a lot of glue. And he shot them straight to Earth when they turned into babies. They were named from that, and they rarely got rabies. And the monk made a movie of their whole entire lives. They were panoramic scenes and zooms of the time. And one time Bob had sex with a ladle, and one time Matt lost a vet to a cradle, and another time Bob caught a dinosaur mom, and another time Matt bought a replica of Guam. And all this more is on a DVD set, only $20.99 with the purchase of a gem. But if you call right now and say, where's my whisk, we'll include this bonus disc.
Hey, welcome to Bonus Disc. I'm one of your hosts, Bob Rose, and with me is another host, Matt P.A.
Hey.
And with us is returning guest to the show several times over.
It's me, Kathy Carson.
There you go.
Always
Hey,
so
Kathy.
happy to be here.
Yeah, this is gonna be your last one for a little while.
For a little while.
You'll be back, but it's gonna be the last one for a little while.
For a little while.
We watched a movie today that I can't believe we're all coming out of loving this much.
It's
so good.
It's on Amazon Prime.
From this with the description, I was expecting to like it a lot.
It's available on Amazon Prime in beautiful VHS.
yeah, made even better by the quality
Right.
of the video.
Literally with tracking problems.
Yes.
And
There's a scene-
and VHS menus are at the top.
Yes.
This is a great transfer. It's of a movie with three known names. One is American Tiger. The other is American Rickshaw.
Which is what it should have been titled.
Which is what it should have been titled. And the other one is American Rizzio. RISCIO with a tilde or whatever. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. And it's also
that might just be like a South American title for it.
It could be. But to make it even funnier, it's directed by
Oh my god.
Martin Dolman, also known as Serge Martin, also known as Sergio M. Martino, also known as Christian Plummer, also known as George Raminto, also known as Sergio
Raminto.
Martino with no M. So he has
Artino?
Well, he had it. One was Sergio M. Martino, and then
Martino.
Sergio Martino.
Okay.
So it's God knows where this came from.
Well, so
all these names,
all the
and-
production names are very Italian.
Yes.
Christian
very
Plummer.
Italian. Christian
Plummer, right?
It's such a weird one out of all those.
Well, maybe he
Great.
did something bad and they replaced him with a plumber.
Or maybe he was trying to get like the Hallmark market,
Yeah.
directing like made-for-TV movies about redemption and triumph over evil.
Well, I feel like
Which would be par for the course,
Well, yeah,
according
yeah.
to this movie.
I mean,
so
we know we can
I
tell
think
that
we got
story.
his American one, the Martin Dolman.
Yeah,
That sounds like
yes.
they're trying to
That
get
is
some
what
other
we got.
market.
Because
I guess.
it was set in Miami, so
Right.
you gotta believe it's somebody who knows Miami
Right.
like the back of their hand.
I have no
You
clue.
see so
Martino
much of
doesn't know
Miami.
No clue how the industry worked back then, but I guess did they bring the Italian crew with them?
I
mean,
think
it definitely
maybe.
looked like it was in Miami, but
Yeah, it didn't look like it was filmed in Italy or anything.
No.
It's-
So maybe it was
It
just
could've
cheaper
been,
to
though.
film here.
Yeah.
It could have been. They could have just went like I don't know where they would have like palm trees like that. Though.
We will never know.
I don't know. All right, yeah.
It's a spaghetti horror sci-fi action thing. I don't even know what genre this movie is
I was
at all.
about to be like, it's not horror, but the last scene, it kind of is. You're like,
Yeah.
It's a lot of genres at the same time. I don't even know where to put it. Thriller?
No.
I would describe it
God,
as
I don't-
supernatural thriller, I guess.
Supernatural
Yeah,
thriller, yeah.
I suppose.
I mean, even though you aren't exactly thrilled because you're just
No.
like, what the fuck is happening?
But it seems like it's supposed to be sexy and like
Yes.
mystery
I think
and
it's
you
like
know
Society, where you're like is
the
this
movie
any...
Society.
Yeah, the movie. The movie.
Not the
Society,
concept
where
of Society, right?
it's a horror movie, but is it? I mean, is it a horror
no, it's a
movie?
sci-fi movie.
Yeah, it's like
more
it's
yeah.
kind of a sci-fi movie, but like people
Well,
call it
it's
a
like-
horror movie. But when you're watching it for 50 minutes, you're like, this is just a boring ass movie about a kid who doesn't know what's going on. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
then all
yeah.
the crazy shit happens.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, that is kind of like a horror movie. Well, it's kind of like a shittier Big Trouble in Little China. Like,
But that gets off the rails immediately.
No,
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
We are getting ahead of ourselves. I would agree with Kathy that for like 5 minutes, I was like, this could be Big Trouble in Little China if it sucked. You know,
Yeah,
like that.
Well, yeah.
they kind of cram it in there.
Yeah, they throw in just a dash of it. Like they
Fair
saw
enough.
it and they were like,
All right, let's do this.
Okay,
Start
okay.
unpacking this
Okay.
motherfucker. It's awesome.
Starts off with 5 minutes of credits of Italians.
Yeah, just black
Black Italian names, and
Yeah.
then Martin Dolman,
And then Martin Dolman.
So
the
good.
dad that directed this.
So then it's like
Well, the main character was played by, what was his name? Mark
Sack-
Gaylord? Mitch Gaylord.
Mitch Gaylord,
He was
right.
American.
Yeah. No, the actors are American.
or most
Well,
of
yeah,
them
most
are.
of
Most of them,
I mean,
except, well, yeah.
And we'll get to
So it opens with the slow motion, the opening montage sequence of.
Of a rainy day.
It's a rainy
It's a,
day. We're
old
shown shots of Miami.
Yes.
Right?
Like aerial shots of Miami, I think. Because
No,
because
it's-
I guessed it was Miami before there's any kind of
Yeah, it's
Lake
like
or
it's
Florida.
establishing shots of like the
Okay.
city of Miami.
Yeah.
There's the the jumbotron and people like swimming.
Oh, that's right.
No,
Yeah.
that's later.
Is that
no,
later?
that's in the beginning.
I thought that was the
because
beginning.
it's raining at the
Oh.
the opening sequence. There's rain.
That's, so the opening sequence is the sequence with the lady.
Yeah, it's the old woman sitting on the
Yeah,
bench.
that's what I'm talking about. I
There's
thought it was.
not, like no.
I thought it was, like,
that's,
establishing
daytime.
shots.
That's no.
I mean,
that's
whatever,
not-
it doesn't
yeah,
matter,
that's
but
not- I don't. That happens.
It's an
after
old
this.
Asian woman sitting
an
on a
old
bench.
Asian-
and it's raining.
But
and
it's
it's
raining.
Slow
starting to
motion.
rain, slow motion, and then she starts to look to the left and smiles.
And she
And
sees
you're like,
a
what the
boy.
fuck is going on? And then the main character is running up. It's like it's like a American guy,
Young kid.
young
wearing
American boy,
a shirt
wearing
with a tiger on
yeah.
it.
He runs
Notable.
up and takes her
Right.
by the hand, and then leads her into a rickshaw.
Oh, hold on. He like
he like lifts her up.
Her
off the
feet
ground.
are shown to come slightly off the ground,
Yes.
and then he's like holding
But then it shows her take those tiny steps.
Yeah.
And then she like takes
Yeah.
these tiny crab walk steps like sideways.
And then they end up in a rickshaw that he's pulling in the rain.
Yeah, and
In
he,
slow
and he has
motion.
this like big smile,
Smile
on his
face.
He's like so happy to do it for this old lady. Like,
Are
Right.
they showing flashes of the cat and the snake at that point, or no?
Not yet.
I don't
Okay.
think so. No.
So then, it shows
I love that
him.
you
Sorry.
foreshadowing.
It
Yeah.
shows him like running by a bunch of like giant palm trees in the rain, and then like they get up to this building, and he lets her off.
Oh,
And then there's that weird ass shot of like a doorman approaching with a
with
wheelchair.
the wheelchair, and
It
just
looked like it looked like she was getting run over by this
Yeah.
thing. It was like
it just like
ah!
zoomed in really hard on the wheelchair.
Remember, it's all filmed like a dream sequence too. It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
There's nothing about it. It's like ethereal.
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought it wasn't
It's all
happening.
like
I thought it was a dream.
3/4 speed.
Yeah.
And like weird soft music. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
It's strange. And then it cut. Then that's when it just goes to
It cuts to like later, and it's the beach, right?
holy fuck. I don't remember.
well, doesn't
honestly.
something
Oh my
happen
God.
where he like gets something happen dangerous and he gets her out of harm's way? At
No,
the
no,
end
no.
of that,
It shows all the
'Cause-
city shit. It's that you're
Yeah, I'm
thinking of. It
thinking
shows
of,
all the
right.
shitty shit with
Okay,
like the
okay.
jumbotron and all that, and it's like daytime, and that's when you see a car park, and then Scott, the main character, gets out of it, but he was wearing. Well, the
He's
weird
wearing-
clothes,
oh,
now
we-
he's wearing like a suit.
and then
that's
and then
right.
a
He's
kid's
getting
like,
home
"Hey
from
Scott,
school.
how was that exam?" A
Yeah,
kid,
yeah, yeah.
a local boy.
He's like, I
getting home
don't. You
from
don't want to know
school, and
about
he's-
it. He's just like.
He's just, you know, nice guy around town.
Everybody loves
Scott
him.
Evans.
Yeah, he's a
But he failed his
very
exam.
agreeable and nice, relatable protagonist.
Exactly.
And he walks into
He's a
the
moron.
lobby to his apartment building, which is a stucco nightmare.
Yeah.
Yes.
Filled
Real
with
weird.
trash and
Oh
trash
yeah, and then
cans.
his neighbor like accosts him in the hallway.
Well, hold on. Well,
right?
this scene is so good. He
Yeah.
opens his mailbox,
Oh,
takes
that's
out
right.
a package,
That's
and
right.
then a couple letters. He takes the letter off the package, starts reading it. Well, all right. First he opens a random piece of mail. And he just throws it
on the floor.
throws it into this area. I don't even know. You couldn't even see where it went.
It's the area in the middle of a stairwell that's
Yeah.
like in the
Yeah.
center.
That goes
You can look all
down.
the way up and down it.
He
yeah.
just throws it in there and he starts reading that letter and he's like, eh. And then he opens the letter on the package, does the same thing while walking up the stairs, just throws the envelope on the ground, starts reading the note, and it's like this is Madam Moon. It was hard to track you down. It took me 6 months.
Right, and
That's
when
when the woman, like his neighbor, accosts him and she's like, "I love you, I love you."
Yeah,
You-
and she's
when
like
you gonna
trying
let me come back up to your apartment or something?
Oh,
yeah,
please
yeah.
don't do
Yeah, I'm not
that.
gonna do that.
Wow.
Yeah,
No. She's
Yeah,
just like
Vetoed.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, it's
Never
to be
do it again.
vetoed.
Man, everybody in this movie had weird accents, and there was a
Well,
bunch of
that's true.
overdubbing.
There was a bunch
It's a
of-
collection of different misunderstandings of like
It's
ethnicities.
strange. There's like
yeah.
Chinese actors, Mexican actors, or Latino actors, and like Italian people. It's like everybody talked real weird.
yes.
It's the second
But
movie in a
maybe
row
it's
we've
just
watched,
Miami.
which has been like
Just a
hodgepodge of racism and cultural
Oh, yeah.
appropriation.
Well, yeah. 'Cause,
Um,
oh my God, all the Chinese mysticism. My
Oh yeah,
God.
no, it's right.
Good Lord.
So it's a woman that he's obviously used to like have come up to his apartment and have sex with, and she has her husband that's in her apartment, and he's like yelling at her.
Wait, we missed something.
Did we?
Sorry, when he drops her off at the house in the opening sequence, they do have that dialogue where she's like, "That's an interesting shirt," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was born in the year of the tiger."
Oh, that's right.
It's just a little bit of information.
Oh right,
that
he
makes
was born
sense
in the year of the
later.
tiger, and she notes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It
So
was no
he's
kidding.
reading this letter, which is thanking him for after 6 months. He drops it because that woman that he obviously has had sex with,
Mhm.
Yes.
she's cheating on her
Clearly,
husband,
yeah.
who's apparently a yelling asshole. So she goes back. He basically pushes her back into her
Yeah.
apartment and keeps walking. Right?
Yeah, he doesn't
yeah.
even think about that. He just got a weird ancient like
amulet.
Amulet thing, yeah.
in a box from.
It's like the size of an egg. But
Yeah.
it's like a black egg.
It's pretty
Chinese.
substantial.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
and it's in a nice wood box.
And like
Yeah.
the
and
letter,
he
and
throws
the letter,
away the box.
the letter's
threw
written
away
on
the
this
box
like
and he didn't
antique
even-
paper with this like silky, like
He didn't
smooth
finish-
handwriting. Like
How do you just forget about reading the rest of that
He
letter?
drops it. It falls down to the rat nest.
He's like, well, that just went into hell, I guess.
Yeah, he's
That's where
just like, oh,
the
well.
void where I throw things, so it's gone. Sorry,
And
I just
she-
think that's insane. Like, who does that? What is his life? You're supposed to like this guy, and he's just like littering, and then he's like, whatever, I get packages, blah, plot.
and he just throws
It's like
it
a
in his
MacGuffin
dresser.
that the character ignores.
Yeah, no, he throws it away in his dresser.
Yeah, it's like whatever. Who
Duh.
It
cares?
came in an oak box. It was like really.
Yeah.
Why throw away the encasement? Who does
Dude,
that?
Because he doesn't have time for that, Bob. It's Miami.
Yeah, it's Miami. He's
Why
got a
do anything he does?
It's Miami in 1990.
I also at this point
They're all coked out of their minds. They don't have time for that.
No.
I didn't finish the letter. Who cares? Fuck it. What is this thing? Put it
I
in the
gotta
sock
pull a rickshaw.
I run
I want to point
around
out too.
all day.
The way the movie presents it too, it's like it's been 6 months, and then they present him as going to school, like having a
Yeah.
new life.
Yeah.
At this point, I would assume that whoever wrote the movie would be like, this guy doesn't push rickshaws anymore. He's a student now.
You pull a rickshaw.
Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Sorry,
It's
cool
true.
rickshaw. But it just seemed like okay, he's that life
progressing.
is behind him.
There's a purpose for 6 months,
months to go
have
by,
passed. Yeah,
right? Exactly. And then, like I didn't think rickshaws would come back into play at any
Nope.
point.
No.
He gets back to
Anyway,
his apartment.
before we
where-
get there,
Oh.
he meets his roommate. We meet up
Yeah,
with his
we
roommate,
meet
who's limping.
He's got a cast on.
He's got a cast on.
It starts with him watching Donald Pleasence be a preacher
On TV.
Right.
He's just-
And you
he's
see
an
he has a
evangelist.
broken leg. He's got his cast up, and he's like watching this preacher on TV, and then he goes to get a sandwich or something, and that's when he Scott comes in.
They talk about how he's actually driving Scott's. He's driving his.
He's working double shifts at the rickshaw because
that guy, the Cobra. A cobra got in the way when he was pulling a rickshaw.
He's like, I swear I saw a cobra.
And somehow he's pulling a rickshaw. He's a man running. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
How did he break his leg?
Because he saw a cobra and fell down a street. I don't know.
He came to
You
a
know, the rickshaw,
complete
you can
stop.
jump and still be
He
holding.
came to a complete stop and just snapped his tibia and his fibia.
Both his legs bent backwards.
No, the cobra didn't bite him, Kathy. It just, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, it didn't bite him. It just broke his leg.
It scared him to the point of him going, whoa! He Jar Jar Binks his way into breaking his leg. What an amazing conversation where you're like, I can't believe a cobra made you break your leg and I'm pulling your rickshaw now. God, we're just a couple of Miami dudes, right?
Just a couple of Miami dudes pulling some rickshaws, scamming on chicks, you know.
I guess that was the thing in the 90s. Like, I had no idea.
Well, it is kind of a thing now, even where they have those like petty bikes and stuff.
Oh yeah.
It almost seems like a
like
a hipster culture thing or
like
something.
A rickshaw
They
in
probably
Miami.
did that stuff like down at the beach and shit. I feel like they did something kind of similar in like California, maybe at the beach.
I can see it. We're laughing about it because it's not.
It's just
where we
weird.
live. It's not normal.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I thought like in San Francisco in the 90s, probably there'd be some rickshaws
with those hills.
Yeah.
San Francisco,
right?
Well, maybe
Well,
near the wharf.
Maybe near the wharf,
Like,
yeah. But
like
those
the-
hills and stuff, though. All
Anyway,
right. Well,
doesn't
rickshaw.
matter.
Socioeconomics of the rickshaw industry
culture,
beside.
We're just
I
trying.
think if the movie was called American Rickshaw, we wouldn't even question all the rickshaws in it.
No, you're right.
Because we were thinking American Tiger. I was like, there's not a fucking tiger anywhere in this movie.
Just on his shirts, on all of his shirts.
Yeah, all his shirts have tigers on it.
Yeah, but
All
there's
of
not.
his shirts. He doesn't
whatever.
know why. He just needs to buy all these shirts with tigers on them. I don't know why.
Are you Christopher Walken as a teenager? That's crazy. Does he talk about anything else with his stupid roommate that shouldn't even be in the movie?
Yeah.
We find out the Cobra thing.
Oh wait, did we skip over seeing the guy at the strip club?
We're gonna get there.
We're about to get there.
We're about to get there because we established that he's
fingering his mouth at the strip.
Yeah. We established that the Cobra is the reason he's pushing a rickshaw or pulling a rickshaw now.
Right.
That's,
Right.
Yeah.
We need to know that for later.
Need to know that.
First, is it saying that is a thing? We need to know.
A cobra in the middle of the road in Miami is a problem and a plot device. Amazing.
And then we're
at the strip.
we cut to a strip club.
Oh,
right.
No, you're not. Fine.
We cut to a strip club, and there's some women dancing, people putting money in G-strings, and there's a guy that's staring and like almost mouthing how much he's into it, right?
Well, first he starts rubbing his lips.
He loves his lips.
He's fingering his mouth.
It's
and
like
it's
very
really
awkward. Yeah.
We don't know who he is yet.
And he's kind of got this like, you know how like in the 90s, white dudes somehow had like high top fades, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but it's like a perm. It's very awkward and not at all.
He's also
good.
wearing like one of those gray like cargo shirts. Remember, his shirt was like gray, but it had pockets all over the it had pockets
on his shoulders,
like on his shoulders and stuff.
Well, which is very Miami. In the 90s. I gotta say.
Right. So anyway, it's like a gross, greasy guy oogling strippers.
Yes.
And then we cut
one in particular,
redheaded one. But then we cut back. Well, not back. We cut to the rickshaw like lineup outside of the club, I guess, of like all the rickshaw operators that are like hanging out waiting for fares.
Right.
Because it's like, I can't even believe I'm saying
waiting for
that.
tricks. Like
pretty much, yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on in this movie at all.
No.
And I don't think anyone in the movie knows what's going on.
No.
It's great. It's like it was made in another universe.
It's almost
where...
it's like when like a person who has no idea, like you're just like thrown into like doing cocaine with people and you have no idea and you're just trying to go along with it so you seem okay. Everyone in the movie seems to be doing that for the first 20 minutes. You're just like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not totally sold on what I'm doing, but I'm gonna give it a shot here, I guess. and just go
Like,
along with whatever.
their normal day to day is so out there. You're just like, I guess I'll just go with it.
Okay, so then like the guy at the strip club is like fondling her kind of when he gives her dollars.
He rubs her
and like
thigh.
yeah, and then he like
But she
strokes her
touches
thigh.
his fingers too.
Right.
It was weird.
So I know why, because that makes sense later.
Yeah, it does.
Because she's
Well,
a honey
we'll get
pot.
there. Yeah, we'll get there.
Well,
So he gets hired
it shows her walking up.
walking up to the
to
rickshaw
line,
lineup.
and one of the rickshaw guys, like, two of them are like, I could carry you my arms if you like, or something.
they're
And she
flirting
walks
with her
by him.
rickshaw style.
She walks up to Scott in his tiger shirt and goes, "Hey, nice shirt."
Oh, right. She's
And
like all
It's
about
a different
Yeah.
tiger shirt too.
Yeah,
it's
it's
still a
different.
white tiger
Yeah.
shirt, but it's a different one.
Different tiger shirt.
He has several.
He's reading. He's studying because he failed his test.
because he's a student.
And
And he was studying like a Chinese book. It had Chinese lettering on it.
Did it?
Yeah,
It
it
did.
probably
I
did.
don't
No,
remember
it
what
did.
the
It
book
did.
looked
I
like.
don't know what that meant, but
He's probably just reading.
He's
on
so obsessed with the year
Everyone
of
in
his
this
birth.
movie was
Well,
obsessed
no, apparently
with
in
horoscopes.
Miami,
Yeah.
it's all things Chinese all the time.
he's a white rickshaw driver obsessed with the year of his birth that it affects his wardrobe, and he's reading a Chinese book. And pulling
and
a
he
rickshaw.
believes in Chinese astrology.
Yeah.
Essentially, everybody
Right.
in this universe believes in Chinese astrology.
And she walks
Nobody
up and she's like,
questioned it.
she says, "Can you give that book a rest?"
Yes.
You know,
I don't want to blow the lid off this movie, but I can't.
Don't blow it off
But
yet. Yeah.
But what you just said, like, yes.
Yeah. So she asked me to give the book a rest, and he's like, okay, right?
Right.
There wasn't. He's
So
down for the fare.
Right. So yeah, he takes her in the rickshaw.
Well, she offers. She's like, "Do you want to take a break?" Oh yeah, you're right.
Take a
So-
break from the book,
Yeah.
and he puts it down
Puts it down. They go on this
Takes
rickshaw
her to
ride
a boat.
to a boat dock.
to a yacht.
And she's like, "How about you come inside and take a breather?"
Is it a yacht?
It's a
I guess
boat.
they
They
call it a
refer
yacht.
to it as a
They do
yacht.
cover-
It's a nice medium-sized boat
Okay, I
with,
guess it was-
with an
I guess it was
interior.
pretty big.
She goes, "Yo, why don't you come in and take a breather? It'll be worth your while. You won't forget it."
He's like, "I gotta get back to work." She's like,
The rickshaw code prevents me, man.
Right, exactly.
I can't.
Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that to you. And then she's like,
She takes off her
You're
shoes.
gonna
and then
regret
she's
it.
like,
She
come
says
on.
something like, this is a time you don't want to miss," or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And then
and
she
then
makes
he's
him
like,
take off his
oh,
shoes.
well, in that case. Yeah.
Just take off your shoes, because I will not have dirt in this boat.
Right, that it's, well, we'll get to it. Yeah,
I don't know. Her
yeah,
insistence of the shoes
That's
was odd.
really weird now.
If you really think about it,
Yeah.
it was almost like they knew it's something that had to happen like 5 minutes from now, and they were like, "Well, I guess she can just insist his shoes come off."
I guess that's kind of disarming. It's like asking someone what time it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you take your shoes off. You're like, oh, well, clearly nothing
Really wanna-
terrible's about to happen.
I really, before we move forward, I really want to point out that at this point, you could almost still have empathy for this character being pulled into this
I guess
weirdness.
so. Yeah, you're like,
The
he's
main
a
character.
hardworking
Right.
student at this point.
Right, he's a hardworking student. He's being pulled into
But he
this
seems
weirdness.
like a fucking moron, but he is a hardworking
but you could
student.
still have some empathy for him right now. 'cause
Currently.
what's happening?
The
you know,
counter
here.
on that's running now.
It's-
Yeah, right.
Oh no, it's just about to change. But I'm just pointing it out.
Right.
That we do.
So he goes in.
She takes off her clothes.
She takes
Well,
off-
first she's like, "Do you want to fuck?" Basically, and he's
It's like, well, I need to get paid.
Yeah.
Are you gonna pay me for the ride? And she's like, "Yeah,
I'll
I'm
pay
gonna-
for that
I'll
too.
pay for
two,
that too."
which implies in this universe that there's some amount of prostitution going on
Yeah,
in the
Yeah,
rickshaw
yeah.
industry.
Like I said, maybe there's like a rub and tug type thing. Like they like with a massage, it's just like they're like rickshaw
they
operators.
tug on the rickshaw and they
Then-
rub
on you.
on you sensually.
Dude, they gotta be fit as fuck. I mean,
yeah,
why
but
not?
they're all-
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
They're all
all look super
strong
hot.
young men. I'm sure some of them go both ways, just in case that's a thing.
I
that
mean
needs to
that
happen.
they're men of the night.
You gotta
Yeah.
make money somehow. Like, you can't live off of rickshaw money alone, Bob.
Maybe in that town, in that point, you could. That's
No.
a big.
You gotta be.
He's got to pay his student loans. Okay, his
So-
exam did not go well,
It's true.
so he's got.
He's just a lowly
tough
rickshaw
future.
man
Right.
/ prostitute.
and he doesn't have time to date, so.
Maybe this
He doesn't
writer
have
just-
time for emotions in his sex.
No. It's just like if there's this woman. Go ahead, do
What
it.
if the writer, like it's this Italian writer, watched like Loverboy and was like, well, in America they use all kinds of businesses for fronts for sex. Like everything is just.
I can't believe you reference Loverboy, like assuming everyone has seen the Patrick Dempsey movie.
Who hasn't? Who hasn't seen
Kathy,
fucking
have you seen Loverboy?
Get out of here! Get the fuck out of here! This podcast's over. It's about a pizza delivery boy that fucks married women. It's great.
It's actually great. Kirstie Alley's in it.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
in that case,
You gotta see it.
Sign me up.
Kirstie Alley.
Jesus,
And
what have
Carrie
I been waiting
Fisher.
for?
And Carrie Fisher.
And Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, man, that movie's all right.
You know, I love Loverboy.
I will every chance I get bring up Loverboy.
Anyway, they start to kiss and like take their clothes off, and they're
Right.
making out. Basically, he's got his shirt off, not his pants yet, and she's completely
Right.
nude.
So at this point,
She
we're starting to
blows
get
it.
the flashes, right?
Yes, of the cat.
A cat
It
howling.
shows the.
It shows
We
the lady.
do see the old woman.
The old woman,
like
she's
getting out of a bed or something,
Mhm.
and
we see her
then,
bomb ass apartment of like
Yes.
red marble flooring
So
and
cool
beautiful
looking.
Chinese tapestries,
Right, and, like,
But she's
plants
doing
everywhere.
some sort
Yeah.
of voodoo,
Yes.
some sort of hoodoo.
she's manipulating something that we really kind of never understood completely.
And
but
I think she's sending her snake and her cat out as like spiritual
yeah,
like things. So it's
so
like
she can
Yeah.
watch what they're doing.
so she can watch what they're doing, and so she can like distract them or attack them as she sees fit.
like in
as
other
she
movies,
is an Asian witch.
yes,
like a normal witch in another movie sends out crows. She sends out cobras and cats.
You got to work with what you got, Bob.
you know what's
I
hysterical
don't blame
about
her.
this
I think
movie?
cats and cobras are cooler.
Yeah.
How far into the movie are we right now? You think like 10, 15
Oh,
minutes?
15,
Not-
10.
10 minutes, like 10 minutes max. The description, the movie has now paid off the entire.
Yes.
Like the movie pays off what the
the
plot
Amazon
synopsis
the
was
Amazon synopsis
within
yes.
the first 15 minutes of the
Right.
movie, and then there's like it's like 35 minutes of like muddled nothingness. I love this
Well,
fucking movie.
yeah, I know. We'll get.
I don't know. I
let's
just
go.
love that. Like
I know,
This is
is
the plot, though. This is
without
the-
any of those characters realizing who any of them are, you as the viewer are already like, oh, well, there's the guy, there's the stripper, and there's the Asian witch.
Everything's
We're
done.
locked in.
We got it.
Right.
Let's do
Let's
this.
do that. Yeah.
And then
So we see the stuff with the cat. She's kind of controlling it,
Yeah.
and then we see a shot from another vantage point that is through like a doorway,
Well, first you
That's
see her
looking-
blowing it entirely because while they're making out, she keeps looking
at a door.
Yeah,
at
she's
the
being
door.
totally obvious.
And then we
And-
see the point of view from inside the door
And it's-
through a one-way mirror.
And it's that creepy
Two-way
guy
mirror.
from the strip club
Yeah, who's
Right,
missing
who's-
a thumb.
who's missing a thumb.
Missing a thumb, and he's operating a camera.
And he's obvious, and he's like
I
clearly
think-
like getting off on it
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
He's
I
like
think
sweating. Like,
yeah,
I feel like, did anybody notice his thumb was missing when he was rubbing
did.
your thigh?
I did.
he
didn't.
said he did.
I noticed
did
the
not.
miss. There's a shot of him touching the camera button, and it's a nub of a thumb.
Yeah,
Oh,
I noticed
Lord.
it then.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
didn't notice it at the strip club.
No, it's him. It's the same
Well,
guy.
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So she makes it known that she knows the guy's in the closet filming her, and it's the dude from the strip club. So this seems like some kind of a setup, right?
Right.
And then he makes some noise because he gets overly excited
But no,
about
the
what's happening.
cat meows.
Oh, the cat
You
meows,
hear-
right, yeah, no.
And he's
And
like,
he's
what
like,
was
"What
that
was
noise?"
that?" Yeah,
Right.
so that's why I'm saying I think like the witch like sends the cat out to like
do
do her
stuff.
bidding for her.
I also felt like she was projecting into their minds, like
Yeah, a
cat
little
noises
bit.
and shit.
It
So
was
he's like-
something like that.
So Scott goes, "What's that? Was that
He-
sound over
he
there?"
walks over to the door and then he looks
Opens
back at
it.
her and she's already like hurriedly dressing.
Dressing.
And getting ready to bolt.
Well,
Yeah.
and so
He's like,
he's like he looks. He says, "You piece of shit."
Yeah, he
then-
opens the door, sees the guy, and he goes,
Still empathetic to Scott.
"Yeah,
right.
Well,
This- a
Scott,
little
what is
bit.
the guy, the thumbless dude, is like,
He
don't
says,
you work for tips or some shit like
yeah,
that? He's
yeah,
he
yeah,
offers
yeah,
him
yeah,
like
yeah.
$100.
And then now the main character loses all credibility.
Yes.
As he turns around and just slaps the ever-living shit out of the woman. Just
Like, just-
winds up.
Just seriously winds the fuck up and just lets loose
Dude,
on this woman.
he doesn't go after the guy in the closet.
No, he
turns-
goes after her.
Turns her. Bam!
And like, oh my god,
It's such a hard hit. It's
I-
like
yeah,
it's
we were all
actually
just like,
shocking.
we
It's so
literally
hard.
all were like, whoa.
Oh boy! It's like I think for a second I was like, is he not the main character?
Yeah, right.
Don't do that.
And then he goes, but then
But
he goes to the guy in the closet and
fucks
he
this
fucks
guy
him
up.
Oh my
up.
god! It's like WWE's picking him up and just throwing him through tables and shit.
It's like he is very offended that he was recorded without his permission.
Yeah, right. No, he's coming.
I ain't no queer.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
No, it comes off like that, like you just called like a neo-Nazi a fairy or something, and he's like, just I'll kill everyone.
You ain't tricking me into sucking no dicks, like, dude. Oh, whoa. Like,
No.
It's insane.
I just want to watch you.
He goes so hard on this
he
guy.
beats the fuck-
He throws his like neck into a wall.
His masculinity is so fragile.
Yeah.
And, like,
it really is.
and it's just, you can tell the director is like, this whore betrayed you. This man is trying to emasculate you.
You have to destroy him.
Like, dude, just take the tape out of the camera and leave. Don't.
Yeah, right?
Like,
well, yeah, he's funny.
dude, he has to beat this guy's head in for like 10
Well, and he
minutes.
smashes the camera. He smashes the camera and smashes everything up. And then after it's all over, like, opens it up and tries to take the tape or whatever.
Right.
And
Well, while they're fighting, the
Woman.
the stripper breaks the fuck out. She's gone.
Good.
She's just like,
I mean, it's like she's in the worst environment possible.
Guys, somebody get manhandled. Like, that guy had
I mean,
no...
she just got
he was not-
roundhouse punched in the face, pretty much.
Yeah.
She needs to leave.
yeah.
She was essentially like karate chopped.
Also, probably never talk to Scott again ever in her
Probably
life, but
shouldn't
that's not
now.
gonna happen.
That's not happening.
It's insane.
So then while this is all happening,
Well, he beats him up, and she runs out,
Right.
and then he's like, fuck, I'm gonna chase after her, and he steps in a piece of glass,
that's
pulls
right.
the glass
Which,
out of his foot.
You're like,
But then-
if she never told him to take his shoes off, his shoes would still be on,
Yep, and he wouldn't
because
have
they only
stepped
would
in
have
the
been
glass.
making out.
Yeah.
It's just funny that it's obvious that they've just made her say to take your shoes off,
So he was be able
so
to
he
step
could
in
step
glass.
in glass and bleed on the floor.
Oh, during the fight, they painfully show you him rip a chain with a key off of the thumbless dude's neck
and
throw it out the window of the boat.
Yes.
And it goes
Yeah.
flying out the window of the boat.
That's very important.
Yeah, that is incredibly important, which is insane.
Yeah.
But the movie, I mean, the way it was shot, you were like, well, that's obviously
important.
Right.
So
yeah,
he goes
that
out chasing
happens.
after her, but he doesn't
I
catch
love
her.
this. He's like, oh shit, I better chase after her. Steps on the glass, pull the glass out
What
of
is
my
he
foot.
gonna do when he catches up to her?
Oh, beyond
Like,
that,
what
Oh, but
awful
he takes the
shit.
rickshaw.
he puts his shoes on, then runs to the top of the stairs, sees she's like way gone, and is like, oh, I should probably get that tape. And then turns back around and goes to get the tape. Like, what? He didn't take the...
Because while he's up there,
That's what he was mad about, was the fucking tape!
I know. But when he's
No,
up
he was
there,
mad at that dumb bitch.
yeah.
I didn't
was.
slap that bitch hard enough, you know? I almost killed this guy, and all I did was slap her.
But that's what I'm saying, man. If
he caught
up to her, what would Scott have done to her if he caught up to
beat
her?
her senseless,
Yeah.
dude.
It's
He
not
would've.
funny at all.
It's not funny, but it's like he's the main character.
Yeah, it's not a bad guy.
This is the quote unquote good guy.
right.
Damn, I love this.
It's insane. So while he's up at the top of the deck, the thumbless guy's like trying to change the tape.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
don't take.
I have no idea what's happening here. He
No.
takes out the tape of him and her, replaces it with another tape. Then when Scott comes down to get the tape, he says the line, "No, not that tape." And you're like, what? The movie's like so much like, hey, this is important. Whenever
Right.
something important
Oh my
happens,
God.
it's insane.
So that explains something else that we kind of missed
Yes.
later.
Yes. It,
Yeah.
it had something to
It's
do
the
with later.
confession tape.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
but like, at the time,
At the time, it means
it's
Why
nothing.
would
so
why would the
weird.
thumbless guy
Right.
put the confession tape in the camera?
Right.
He set this up.
Oh
Was
God!
he planning for this man to pummel him?
I don't know.
Like, I'm gonna hire this fucking homophobic dude and then have him catch me filming him so he beats me up
And then he takes
and
his
then
tape.
and then I'll trick him into taking my
What?
secret tape that I'm hiding. What? Like, what was the plan on this
Hold
boat?
on, we gotta get.
Okay,
Dude,
okay.
it's outrageous
It's insane.
though. It's
because we learned so much more about.
Oh my God!
We learned so much more.
Sorry,
about
I just thought about the layers of the fucking stripper that have to come off.
And remember what the reason you got to think about later the reasons that the thumbless guy is doing the things he's doing.
Yes.
Oh my God!
Oh my! It's really insane.
This boat scene is fucking nonsense.
Okay. So like,
fuck. That's when he grabs the rickshaw. He's got the tape. He grabs the rickshaw and he gets the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
That's not when because he goes back. That's right. Because he goes back to the house.
He goes back to his apartment.
His apartment.
Yeah. Right. And
his roommate's like, "What's up, man?" And he's like, "Fuck this shit." Like, I just...
Yeah. He tells him what happened. He tells him what happened.
And he's like, well, you know...
It's just he's just like... his roommate's
he's like, nobody knows you were there. Who cares?
Who cares a shit? It's just some fucking whore. You know, like...
Right.
Like, nobody... There's not a woman. No women in the movie.
She's just a woman. Yeah. She doesn't matter.
Oh,
And the only man that knew you were there is dead. So you're fine. Just burn this tape.
His roommate is so nonchalant about it. It's just a murder, dude. Just don't worry about it.
Oh, wait,
Miami.
no. We're fucking up.
Why?
He gets back and he's like, this fucking guy tried to film me getting fucked. And he's like,
oh,
that's crazy. Let's watch the tape of you getting fucked.
You're right.
That the man made of you fucking. And then they put it in and it's the dude that he just beat the shit out of. But the tape's all fucked up.
Yeah, there's
but
no
it's
sound.
like him just like a one-on-one like interview thing. Like he's like
talking.
Like
yeah,
he's just talking.
He keeps like gesturing with the necklace, the chain with the key that he threw out the window. And he's like, wait, this isn't the tape. I grabbed the wrong tape. I better get back there. And he runs all the way back. And that's when he gets in there and all the tapes are gone.
All the tapes are gone. He sees his blood.
First we see someone in a car tossing all the tapes in a pile.
Yes.
In the dark.
Because they stole the tapes from the boat.
At the boat.
Yes.
And then he sees Scott go in the boat. And then Scott sees all the tapes are gone. And the body. And he's like, what the fuck's going on? And then the dude's dead in the back.
And he notices that his blood is everywhere.
Yeah, his blood. Well, he finds the dead body. And then he's like, my blood is all over the
it's
place.
a dead body. And it's the thumbless guy with a rag shoved in his mouth. But it's like bloody.
But
it's not.
Yeah, it's blood everywhere.
It doesn't make much sense. But he's shot in the back.
Right.
He's shot in the back. He tries to start cleaning up his...
They just made sure he was dead.
Yeah. He starts cleaning up his blood because he realizes there's evidence.
With
and then
whiskey.
Then you see what's her name again? What's her name?
Madam Moon.
Madam Moon. She's starting to do something, and all of a sudden, like, the blood spots or something. I felt like it originated from his blood.
So, yeah.
They like catch on fire.
Yeah, the blood.
The stairs like catch on fire. Because we were like, why don't you just burn the boat, man? Don't try to clean it.
And then she does it for him.
She just like, it goes up in flames.
With magic.
Right, with magic. From it, but it like seemed to originate from his blood.
It did look like that on the stairs.
Which I was like, which kind of makes sense if you know stuff that happens later, but it doesn't.
Boat's on fire. He's like, oh shit. And then it shows the guy in the car being like, what the fuck is that about?
Yeah.
And then he like gets out of a hatch on the other side of the ship and dives in the water without anybody seeing him.
Right. Yeah.
And then cut to...
That's what I'm trying to think of. Police?
Oh, yeah, because she
goes home.
She goes home. He threatens her, right? At her house?
Well, she goes home.
No.
The milkman.
No, this is... No. This is when... He finds after he escapes from the boat, he goes back to his apartment, and that's when he explains everything to his roommate.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's so confusing because he goes to his apartment, then goes back to the boat,
then back to his
like
apartment.
How far is he going with this too?
Oh,
we missed the scene of Donald Pleasence doing a preacher shit because he gets that phone call.
Right.
Where someone
says the package has been destroyed. Arrived, right.
And he's like, don't do it here. He's like, I'll call you. Don't bring it here. Or something like, we can't do it here. And he hangs up the phone.
Which,
but it happened before we meet the dude in the car.
Yeah.
I just trying to put things...
Shucking
them back into the timeline.
So the package at that point would have to be a confession tape that it was being talked about, right?
I think the package
was the dead son.
No, was the guy in the car because he hired him. I think that was just a weird terminology. Like
Yeah, because he
It was a weird way to
him.
say it, to refer to him as a package, but he's saying he's arrived versus delivered. You know what I mean? The package has been delivered would be, oh, don't bring it to me here. Instead, they said the package has arrived, and he says, we can't do it here. I'll call you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a hitman. The package is the hitman.
Yeah, I think the package is.
Who's the guy in the car with the tapes?
Yes, who just killed the thumbless dude.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Yes.
Scott goes back to his apartment. He tells his roommate, and
that's
his
when his
roommate
roommate's like, well, fucking women
Dude.
don't matter, and that guy's dead.
and
you're
murders
fine.
whatever.
Yeah.
Just
We're
go
gonna take
ahead.
this
You
tape.
can't trust a whore.
We're gonna chuck it in the
That's
fucking...
the first of many, 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 many times that
So-
people actually say that like out loud.
Oh yeah, her life
Yeah.
is nothing. It's
Yeah.
that's our so those people. It's terrible.
and they put the tape in the oven and melt it in their
They
oven.
Yeah, I know they melted in the oven. What
They
is
didn't even
that? That
put-
would be such a mess.
I know. Line it with tinfoil. Like they just put it in
It's
raw,
all
bare in the
on the
oven
oven.
on the rack
Yeah, I know.
that it's gonna melt through. Like,
Right,
what the
it's
fuck
nuts.
are you doing?
So the confession
Really
tape
weird choice.
of whatever is destroyed
Whatever, it's
now.
gone. Like,
Right.
This asshole. All right. So now we're like we're supposed to be fighting for
Gesundheit.
him to like get out of this sticky situation he's in.
Well, no, fuck
For
him
the,
though.
yeah, for
I
the
mean,
process of the movie, he litters. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't read his mail. He just throws ancient trinkets in drawers. He fucking like, you know what I mean? Like everything he slaps women. Everything he's done is terrible.
Oh yeah,
really- if
no,
Nothing.
he's a
He
fucking
failed
asshole.
his test. Like nothing about him is like.
you really need to watch this movie to see the slap because it is not.
Seriously,
It's not just like some kind of willy nilly
It
slap.
really
No.
felt like I wasn't gonna have. You know what I mean? Like
Dude,
was
it
not
felt like if he could
prepared for
chop her
that.
head off, he would have. You
Yeah.
know, it's
I wasn't
bad.
prepared for it
It's
at
a
all.
bad
yeah,
slap.
it was strong. It had strong intention
Yeah.
behind it.
It was nuts. Yeah, it was really nuts. So then, because this is when he leaves, right? And then the hitman comes in with the roommate, right?
No,
Is that later?
Yeah, no, you're right. He goes, yeah, I gotta go fucking back to work because of your crippled
Yeah,
ass.
Yeah.
He like laughs at him, and then yeah, you're right. He goes because that's when it cuts to the gay rickshaw guy being like, "Oh, there was a man here asking for you
my God,
earlier."
yeah.
And he wasn't
was-
gay, so I would have
'Cause-
kept him if he was.
Which makes you think that they are fucking these people.
Yeah, like all of them are just fucking all their faces.
All affairs, yeah.
Which makes the end of this scene hysterical because they have the conversation about the guy looking for him. He's like, I don't worry
Yeah.
about it, whatever. And then Scott leaves, and then like an 80-year-old man walks up and he goes, hey, you want to ride? And he goes, yeah, take me downtown. But like that's the beginning of that scene was basically establishing that they're all
having
fucking
sex.
Yeah.
It's so good.
They're all
Take
sex
me
workers.
downtown.
Take me downtown. You're live.
Yeah.
God
So
damn
good.
it. The underbelly of the rickshaw industry.
I know.
Dude, next time I see a rickshaw, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of it.
Yeah, man. You know that they're open for business.
I know what you do.
I've seen the movie.
I've
movie.
seen that
The
movie.
rickshaw
American
movie.
Rickshaw.
Ah, come on.
Basically, the guidebook, the visual
Visual
guidebook
guidebook
for
of
all
the
rickshaws.
rickshaw.
The documentary
You
about
watched
your
this.
life.
Pullers.
So that
How else are you gonna get inspired to pull a rickshaw if you
Yeah.
haven't seen this movie? In this day and age.
In this day,
So-
you need something.
it cuts back to the apartment and the roommate's just watching TV, right? Isn't he watching?
Yeah, well,
he's watching something.
yeah.
No, he's not there. The roommate isn't in
Oh,
there
he
for
gets
some
home.
reason. Yeah.
The hitman's there then.
The hitman goes in his apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Because he's looking for stuff.
He's
He's
looking-
looking for the amulet, probably.
No, the
tape.
confession tape.
Oh, the tape. The
He's
tape.
looking
He
for the-
doesn't
That's right,
know
that's right.
about that
That's
stuff.
right. That's right.
He's not aware of that
He just
stuff.
wants the tape.
He's in the movie that's just a movie. He's not in the supernatural part of the movie in his own mind.
He's just in the big trouble part, not the
right,
little
yeah,
China
yeah,
part.
that little China part. So then,
Yeah, he rifles through a bunch of shit, and then the roommate comes home.
and then he
And then he's like,
interrogates him, right?
Yeah.
he's like,
What do you know?
and the roommate's a moron.
Oh yeah, total.
He just lets
Dude,
up
he
way too much-
dismissed.
Yeah,
He dismissed
man with
like
a gun
beating a
shows
woman
up.
and like murdering people. He's an idiot.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
a,
Yeah.
he is an idiot because this guy's got a gun on him, and immediately he goes like, "Oh, I know he's innocent." He's like, "You just go, I don't know what's happening." You just say, "I don't know anything." You don't
Yeah,
go,
right.
"Hey, look, I know Scott's innocent." If
I
you
just
hear about
believe
that murder
him. He's
thing,
like, I believe him. Like
It's
this guy
like,
was
he's
like,
my
yeah,
bro,
like,
yo.
cares.
He doesn't, like he
We're
would never,
Eskimo brothers, dude. Okay, like
he would never hurt a whore, yo.
He would never lie to me.
You would never lie to me. Our penises basically touch.
Yeah. We slap them together before we sleep.
It's a rickshaw thing. You
You
wouldn't
can
understand.
That's what this tattoo means.
Yeah,
It's
right.
a rickshaw tattoo.
We all get one after you pass the gauntlet.
Oh, I can't even imagine what that is.
And it's like a sex gauntlet. It has nothing to do
Well, it
with
has,
rickshaw.
to, it has
nothing
to
to
be
do-
involved with the rickshaw, right?
Yeah, I guess.
You gotta be somehow having sex while pulling a rickshaw.
It's
Oh,
two
that's
you're holding
easily-
two penises of guys.
Yeah.
And you have to run down the street while masturbating them.
Human rickshaw.
Yeah, human rickshaw.
like
So he ends up killing him. The hitman
Yes.
kills the
Hey,
roommate.
the roommate gives him all the information
he
you
just
could
murders
ever
him.
need,
Yeah,
and then shoots
fucking
him
shoots him.
He fucking shoots him.
Right.
in the neck, which is so awesome. Actually, like not in the face, like
And he even like lifts up the
It
head
is
to like
just-
taunt him one last time
Right.
while he's dead and just
There would
drop
be-
the head.
there would be blood
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
He shot him right
In the
his,
artery.
like, arterial vein. It'd be everywhere. It's like the worst place to shoot. If he shot him in the chest, it would have been better. You know what I mean? I just love that. Like, oh, I'm gonna like surprise your roommate by killing you before he gets here, very quietly, but incredibly messily. But not in this movie, because apparently you shoot somebody in the neck and they just die instantly with no blood loss.
Magic was holding the blood in.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Madam Wu.
We'll
Madam
get-
Moon was making sure that the.
But we'll get to that. We're not even there
We're not
yet.
there yet. So the apartment catches on fire after the hitman
yes.
leaves.
Because
The
she's trying to cover up the.
She's trying to cover up for his sake.
I
Yes.
think so.
I don't exactly still in my mind understand what she was doing for everything.
setting fire.
She was just setting fires.
She's a pyromaniac.
It just seems like the end objective would. It's just this really weird way to get to the end objective for all this.
Yes, she could have like directed him. Like she could have contacted him directly,
Yeah, he could have also read the fucking letter.
or he could have read the letter.
And
The,
he
the
just-
letter might have said
the
exactly
letter
what
was
was
basically
happening.
going to say,
yeah.
like, come talk to me so we can for evil versus what is fucking occurring right now. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Then we got the morning when the police show up to the apartment, right? Which the apartment's been all repainted, but it looks like shit. It doesn't look like it's,
It's not
actually
repainted.
burned.
It's supposed to
Well,
look like it's burnt, but
yeah.
it's just a really shitty set job.
It's a really shitty
It's
set
really
painting.
shit
Yeah,
set
yeah.
design.
Yeah,
like,
it's not. It's like Yosemite Sam's burnt face on
Yeah.
a wall.
No, it's.
Yeah.
It was weird, yeah. It just looked like they painted a wall gray and then
Yeah.
painted some black through soot on it. You're
Yeah.
like, okay.
And we're introduced
Was
to
this
the
room gray before? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened? It's like you added the little happy little trees but didn't finish.
Mhm.
Yeah. We're introduced to the two cops who I don't know
Yeah.
their names.
yeah,
No,
I was
I
about
don't-
to say introduce is an interesting
Yeah,
term.
it's-
Yeah.
The one guy looks like
Oh,
Lieutenant Morgan.
Lieutenant
Right.
Morgan.
Lieutenant Morgan. Yeah,
Right.
but
Fuck.
that's the only one I remember.
Yeah, I don't remember the weird
the
guy's
other
name.
the weird guy. Okay. And
I mean, he's talking about his Chinese horoscope.
Yeah,
does he early on? Does
yes,
he talk
he
about
does. He
that?
said
The
my
lieutenant's
horoscope.
partner.
Yeah, he's like my horoscope said today something
was
something.
gonna be
What is
crazy.
going on
Yeah.
with this town? Like it's just like
I think
it's like white people culture appropriated the whole of
yeah,
Chinese culture, but then kept their own and merged it into one. It was
yeah.
really weird, super weird. And this we just learned that we don't really learn anything except they don't know what the amulet is. They're just like, look at this,
Oh, yeah, this
whatever.
dresser's
Yeah.
not burned at
They-
all.
they-
Everything else,
yeah,
is,
Everything's
Everything
fine.
else.
There's something protected this dresser, and then that's
Yeah,
it.
Are we even halfway through this movie yet?
No, I don't think so. Anyway,
It's
There's so
Thick
much
with
going
plot.
on.
there's so
there's
much.
so much plot in this movie. It's like
There's a
there's
lot
like
of
4 or
things.
5 storylines that go on.
Yeah.
There's a lot
yeah.
of balls in the air.
So,
Yeah.
are we missing any of the Reverend stuff? Because I feel like that stuff just kind of
No,
pops
there's
in
barely-
randomly.
Yeah, it's
Donald
barely
Pleasence
in
and
the
his stuff. All you need to know until we get to the meat of that is that he is a preacher on TV. He's
Yeah.
rich.
Well, once the cops determine, I'm sorry, yeah, you're right, because once the cops determine that the boat was exploded and burned, then they know who he was. And they're
They
like,
know
"Oh,
who-
it's Reverend
Oh yeah, they
Mortman.
recognize him because
Mortman?
He's thumbless.
Mortman.
Mort-
I thought it was Mortem.
Mortem.
It doesn't matter.
It's weird.
Donald Pleasence's son was the guy without the thumb.
Heard he was a bit of a video freak.
Right, video freak. So now they're looking for Scott because they think Scott murdered the son of a famous rich pastor, powerful pastor.
Well, they don't.
TV evangelist.
Oh, it's because
They don't
the
know
stripper
Who, oh fuck!
the
we
stripper goes to the
skipped so
cops
much.
and gives the
No,
confession.
we missed a bunch of
We
stuff.
missed
That
something.
hasn't happened yet.
Because
Yeah.
no, he's right. Because the hitman has to frame her.
Yeah,
right.
the hitman watches the tape and sees Scott and knows who he is now. That's how he finds the apartment, and that's how he knows how to start.
Right,
doing
that's
all-
right, because
getting
then he
all
goes
these
over
other
to her
framing
house,
things.
too.
He goes to her house.
That's
says
when
it,
the milk thing happens.
Yes.
says that if you don't go to the cops and do this, I'll kill you.
Yes. There we
Yeah,
go.
we learned that she has a roommate, kind of, in
Yeah.
that scene, but that matters later for a second.
Yeah.
Actually, it matters a lot that there's other people in that house, but we'll get to that.
Dude,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Mhm.
So then he threatens her. She goes to the cops, says Scott did it.
Right.
Scott killed him. He
And
went
they're like,
insane.
are you sure? And
I'm
she's like,
sure.
I'm
Let me
sure.
sign the paper.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Just fuck off already and give me my fucking shit.
Right.
Because it also shows a press conference of Donald Pleasence and his wife
saying
being
how
like,
devastated they are.
yes,
Right.
we understand. We'll help. God will get us through. Blah blah blah.
Divine intervention.
Yeah.
He said the divine something
Justice.
will, like,
Jesus.
Something.
save us, or
etc.
Reveal the light of the Lord. Will reveal.
Isn't this
our
when she
truth.
is this when like she hooks up with Scott when she like gets back, like she leaves the police station, goes back home? Isn't this
This is when he goes back to the apartment, sees it's burned.
right?
Doesn't go back upstairs. Just now he's just
Yeah, he
loose.
just walks away.
Yeah,
He's just loose walking around.
right. He's loose.
He is. I mean,
Yeah,
he sees the news footage of. I love that. Like, she tells them she saw him kill that guy.
Right.
Oh, right.
The police are like, leave out the side door so you can avoid the press.
Right.
Then he immediately sees footage of himself on the news being like, this man murdered this guy's son.
With his full name.
With his full name, and then it goes, this information was provided by this woman, and it was video of her going like, no!
Yeah, get away from me.
Yeah, who the fuck told somebody she did that?
Within
Within
5
a
minutes.
few minutes? Yeah, I love
Her
that.
name was
Yeah,
on the
her
news.
full
It's
name.
typical gotcha journalism.
It is. That's amazing.
Because then it shows him run and some cops chasing him because he knocks over a woman immediately
Yeah.
as soon as he's like,
Oh,
oh my
dude.
god,
Oh,
there's
well,
police.
Oh, yeah.
He knocks
he does-
over a thing in his mind. He's
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
This woman in a trash
this
can
is-
sitting there.
Can't trust a whore. You can't trust a whore. She's trying to get in your way while you're fleeing the cops.
They're all whores.
There are obstacles in life and in movement.
It's best to just isolate yourself from them completely.
Oh my god.
Lest
The
you
worst main
fall
character
prey.
in the history of film.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
He's pretty awful.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Like he had nothing left. Oh my God. So yeah, that's when he goes to her house, right?
Yeah, he somehow finds her.
Because I said when we were watching,
no,
I was like,
no, he doesn't go to her house. He runs away, and then it shows her stripping.
oh
again,
yeah, she's at work
despite
again.
being on the news for like
For
turning in a
committing
murderer.
a
Hey,
murder.
she's got to provide.
I know, but it's like it's so weird.
At this point, we only
She's
think
just
she has
a-
to provide for herself, Kathy.
Yeah,
we don't
that's-
know.
that's true.
It's
We don't
true.
know the truth.
So she's back to stripping, and you're watching the dude who killed the guy for real, the guy from the car, watching her strip.
Right.
And then she goes, then it shows Scott approaching the strip club,
Right.
but he
right.
sees like 2 undercover cops in a car, so he sneaks into the parking lot. And then when she gets off her shift, she goes to her car, the cops are watching her, and then the dude, god damn, this
It's
is
so much shit.
glorious. And then
Yes.
then the murderer goes to his car to watch her. And the police, because I don't know if he knows the cops are there. I don't think he cares.
I don't think
honestly.
he cares. I don't
The
think he
hitman
cares
doesn't
at
give
all.
a fuck.
No.
So he's just watching all that, and that's when Scott's in her car with a needle.
with a needle.
He's
What
in
do
the
you
car.
think it couldn't get worse?
He's in the car, and she goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, "What are you doing?" I'm telling the police I did that. She's like, "Look, I just told him what I saw. Fucking leave me alone." He goes, "Bitch, I have a needle that I found in the gutter. I assume you are familiar with AIDS."
He actually says that.
Because I will stab you with this shit. What?
He
We
says all of
flipped
that.
the fuck out. We were like, wait a minute. He just... God Good lord!
The last time you saw this woman, you clocked the shit out.
Slapped the shit out of her, and then wanted to chase her down.
And then
beat her
now
up.
he's threatening her with an AIDS needle, and it's just
I love that he broke down that far. Like he was just on the run of the
dude. It's like
He
some people
found
when
a
they
needle
break
in a
bad,
gutter,
they
was like,
just go.
Yeah, he went
all
down.
the way down.
I like that in this
I'm
scene
gonna
too.
hunt the gutters for needles to stab.
Yeah,
this
how
woman
long
with
was he looking
in
for?
hopes that it's full of
Dude,
AIDS.
I would pay money to see like the deleted scene of Scott or just searching through gutter trash.
right,
That bitch is gonna pay. And just mumbling
This'll
to himself.
do.
Yeah. Fucking whore. Nah! It's like, he also has his pen.
Yes, I have it.
Like it's his Excalibur.
Yeah,
He pulled it from the gutter.
It's so good.
but that is.
Threatening her with AIDS.
I can't.
Yeah.
I've never seen that
So
in a
she
movie
drives.
ever.
So she drives.
This is such a
We gotta
confusing
keep
scene. We
going.
gotta keep moving.
We gotta keep.
It's so confusing. She's driving,
She's driving.
and then where she's
Behind her is the
Police.
cops, and then way farther behind them is the
Is the
villain.
hitman.
And they pull into a parking garage for some reason.
And they always go up. They were going
yeah,
up.
they go up the parking garage.
And
He goes, go to
yeah.
the top. The cops stop outside, but the hitman goes up. And the cops just sit down there. They drive all the way to the top. He goes, look, we're going to switch cars.
and he looks at a white car, but it's
Yeah.
not a car that he planted there or she planted
It's
there.
just a
It's
car.
just I mean, he's got time to look through the trash for AIDS needles.
I mean, yeah.
I know. I feel like
You
if
know.
you could get a car set up at the top of a building that if we're ready to steal, you could have a better weapon than a supposedly AIDS-filled needle. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Like, he's not even 100% on. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure
I
it
can
was,
talk about that needle for days.
It's
Like,
insane.
the fact he has it, that he's willing to like go that far, it's so good.
So-
fucking good.
that's when the hitman shows up.
Yeah, he shows up in the
Yeah.
middle of him trying to explain what they're gonna do to her, and she's like, "What the fuck's going on?" Then the hitman shows up, and he goes, "I can take." He's like, "I'll take care of this" or something. He gets out of the car and just starts getting his ass kicked, or he tries to run by him.
He tries to run him by who?
Scott tries
Scott
to run past the
Past
hitman.
Right.
on foot.
She gets out of her car, and
Into
all of a
the-
sudden she jumps into that white car.
Oh, that's
And-
right. And she just like speeds away.
It starts up immediately.
Yeah, like, well, if anyone had a key to that car, it was Scott,
right.
not you. 'Cause you were kidnapped and brought here at AIDS point.
Yes, at 8.
So you would have no knowledge of that car having a key in it. And it's just like, what?
I can't believe you just said AIDS point.
Well, I don't know, gunpoint.
That's so good.
No, it's
This
That's
movie
what
is
happened.
fucking amazing.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
So
but-
she just gets in the car and starts driving down the spiral.
Yeah.
She smashes into a person pulling out of a parking space, which somehow sets off the building alarm.
Yes.
The whole
The
building
whole
starts
they
building,
show
and then
that
the
light.
cops start coming up.
Yeah. Then the cops are coming up while
It's
she's
so
going
confusingly
down.
edited. It's like,
Then
yeah.
the dude is on foot. Scott is on
Right.
foot going down while the
And then the hitman.
hitman's in a car also
And he's
going down
going
the
down.
other side.
And then
Oh
they
my
kind of
God.
like all converge at one point.
Sort of. I couldn't even tell you. That
It's very
the
confusing.
editing was, like,
Yeah, it was a
nuts. I'm
mess.
just like,
It was
who
a
are we
complete
looking
mess.
at moving through this dark
Yeah.
garage? I know it's the Scott because he's the only one not in a vehicle, but everybody else is kind of
Right.
like,
So somehow they end up all leaving that.
So I don't know how the hitman got out of there, but I guess the police weren't looking for him. But someone, like the stripper, drives past a person just trying to get through there, and they crash into a parked car, which blocks the cops
From getting out,
from
right? Yeah.
chasing her anymore. And then by that point, Scott had like hopped over the walls in the center of the building, I guess, to get to the bottom because he jumps through her window when she gets to the exit.
And at that
Okay.
point, she
But
seems
I don't know where the
and
hitman
it's
is. I guess he's also stuck in there, but can just pretend that he's just a human being stuck in a parking garage.
I guess,
Because
yeah.
the cops don't know who he is, I guess.
He seems like he would find a way out.
Yeah.
But
Parachute.
it also should be noted that when he jumps in
Yeah.
that,
Backpack.
he jumps in the
Okay.
car, and she like almost wants to save him from the situation. It was really
Well, no, he's got her gun point at this point because now he
Oh,
has,
that's
he
right.
does
Then he
have the
gets a
gun,
gun.
he
right?
has
yeah.
the gun that
Yeah, he's
he's
threatening her with a
being
gun.
framed. This is really dumb. Like
Yeah.
he now is holding the gun that was used in the 2 murders that he was
Right.
framed for. It's just like every piece of evidence or clue this guy gets is like ruined or destroyed instantly.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, well, we have this, but my hands are all over it, and now I'm threatening you with it. So
Right.
where are we?
And then the 2 of them go to a motel.
All throughout this, there's snakes and cats.
Madam Moon is doing
like floating
stuff.
around.
She is like the grand orchestrator, manipulating and pushing things, but we don't really know how or what. She's not. I thought for a lot of it, I was assuming she was inside the redhead. Like
So
she
did
was
I,
like her
but-
mind was
right.
in there.
No, I thought that too.
But
I
it
thought she
doesn't-
kind of like possessed her.
But
to
it doesn't
do these
seem
things.
like that's what happened in the
No,
end.
I think the redhead is just a highly manipulated like pawn
Oh, the world
in
is
an
just
overall.
Scrying. I think she's just like
Understandably,
scrying
the
on
world has not been kind.
Yes.
I don't think she's like doing stuff to them. I think she's like scrying on them. Like she's just like watching them.
Okay.
But I still think she can enact stuff with
Well,
the
she can start
snake
fires,
and
definitely.
the snake and the
cobras
cat do
and stuff.
Because I
Yeah.
think the cat bit the one guy.
It shows the cat bite her while she's watching something
That's
during
it.
a fight or something.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, why is
Like the
Maybe
cat's
maybe it's like
reacting.
some like voodoo-y kind of stuff where
well,
she's
she
like
needs the power.
no, or
We
like
need to,
she's like it's doing it to her, but it's doing it to somebody psychically.
I have no idea. Well, either way, Scott and the redhead go to a motel.
It could be anything.
They go to a motel and like.
And then they get it on finally.
Well, they
Well,
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Well, like, yeah, dude.
The fact that this would even happen.
it's gross.
She's
and
like
unnecessary.
way too into it. Like she shouldn't be that into it. He
No.
literally just held a AIDS needle.
And he's
to
holding
her.
a gun to
And
her.
now
And she's
he's
like,
got a gun to him.
like
Yeah.
then they have like a look, and she's like, "Well, I'm going to shower first."
Oh yeah, and she like leaves the door open, and she's just
Everybody
like,
just believes this guy on his word, though. Because
Yeah.
at this point, he's got a gun to her. She does not know whether he killed him or not, I guess, but she's also just like, fuck you, I guess. Her, like, she seems super flippant.
yeah.
And then she's like, how do I know you didn't kill your roommate? And that's when he goes, oh, I loved him or whatever. He was my best friend.
right.
And then that's when she goes,
He
okay,
and when he
I'm
does
gonna-
that, he manhandles her just
Yeah,
to
he
add a
grabs
little
her and
more
shakes the shit
pepper
out of
on that
her.
whole thing.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
She
So
would have died if
much.
she was a baby.
Yes.
But
Oh.
he's like, yeah, she was my friend. And then she goes, all right, well, we'll figure out what we do. I got to take a shower on it. And she does it all sexy.
yes.
And then he gets in with her with his pants on. But,
Yes,
Well,
with
no.
his sweatpants on.
He opens the bathroom door to get in with her, and then she goes, if you, she says something about, like, I could say you're trying to rape me, I'd watch your step or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And we were like, what the fuck?
Oh boy.
Why would you say
Yeah.
that? And then he still goes in. He like rips open the curtain and just starts like kissing her immediately.
Yeah.
If you think, it's like
Think about what you're doing.
The
This could be
implications-
considered rape.
yeah, the implications
thought
there
about
are-
it, and it is now. Like, what?
I get. I don't even know. It's
But she's like, after it's over, she's like sitting there, like stroking him lovingly. You know what I mean?
internalized
Like,
misogyny is a bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She just accepts all of this. Like
yeah, except-
it's Tuesday, I guess. You know.
yeah, and
like-
she's just like, oh gosh, and he's like, I'm so tired, and she's like, you should just sleep.
I'll take care of you.
And he goes, how do I know I can trust you?
yeah,
The
After
woman
all
that I've
this
been
shit.
like terrorizing since I met. Like, I haven't done anything cool with or to. Like, everything I have done to you is horrific.
yeah.
You know, if you get online, I'll hit you with my hepatitis hammer. You know, like he keeps having new weapons. You know. Yeah, they have sex, and then
and then she's like,
They have
TV,
more sex.
and
That's
The-
when it
they-
cuts to
it
her
cut-
apartment.
yeah.
right,
And
No, it cuts to her apartment, and the phone's ringing, and there's a crying woman who answers it with a black eye,
her roommate.
and it's the woman who lives in her corner, and it's just like some other woman that's been beaten in the movie.
You could
Right.
have totally just had him
She
pointing
had
a
no
gun
name.
at her. She didn't need to have a black eye for
She
fuck's
didn't have a
sake.
name!
I know.
No one said her name! She was referred to as roommate by
it's been an
everyone!
It's been an hour.
Oh my god, we have to
Jesus
move.
Christ, we have to keep moving.
So,
Oh boy.
that's when
This
Yes.
doesn't pass the Bechdel test.
Nope. The
No.
murderer is holding.
That's not-
Absolutely
I don't-
not.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
we-
two women talk to each other in the whole movie.
I don't think they do either.
Unless you count the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
The
That's
cat
it.
and Madam Moon or whatever. Yeah.
And in this case, I will.
Right.
You
The
have
cat was
to.
But
great.
they're still talking about the dude, so it
Yeah,
doesn't
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
it's true. It's true. They are.
Okay. And
What
he's
happened?
like, where is she? Like, he gets her to say where. Oh, you just see her answer the phone. They don't even actually ever talk.
Yeah, she goes, I need to see you. We need to talk immediately. Or she says that.
Yeah.
And then it shows her, the stripper, like, walking somewhere
Mm-hmm.
outside of the building. And then Scott wakes up and is like,
Oh, that's right. And he's like,
that bitch,
Yeah.
she fucking did what? Like, what does he think she did? He gets mad at nothing, and then she walks in the door, and he pulls the gun on her again. And she's like, "Are you kidding me with this gun
I just
shit
had
at
sex
this
with you
point?"
for like 5 hours.
right.
Can we not? Can you stop trying to shoot me?
And then she gets him clothes. She gets him
Oh,
a
yeah, she
fresh.
bought him new clothes.
bought
Oh,
him
yeah.
new clothes.
Dude,
Well, he deserves it. He's been so nice.
Yeah, and then right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Right? He's been so good to her.
tonight I have new
Shoving a
clothes
gun
to
in
walk
his-
Because you were
on her
starting to
face.
stink. I like that she at least told him that. Like, you were actually starting to smell like shit. Then they go to find the key. They go to the right. They They go.
Yeah, somehow in their post-coital musings, he realizes that
The key's important.
the key is important, and that he remembers it getting thrown out.
I feel
the
like
window.
Madam Moon
Well,
had something
Oh,
to do
you're
with
right.
it.
There
the
is
she
stripper
likes-
like prompts her or something.
Yeah, yeah.
she
Well, I'm
goes-
saying she has like some kind of force, like remember the key.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
She says something like, "Well, what was in the video?" Like, and he's like, "Oh, it's just this guy with a key around his neck." She's like, "Well,
The
what
key?
was the deal with the key?" He goes,
Right.
"Oh, I did rip a
So-
key off his
So they
neck
go down to the dock.
and
They,
throw it into the ocean."
he strips down to go look because the cat shows him where to die.
And the
Right,
cat
the cat
shows up,
shows up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Madam Moon's cat shows up and shows him where to dive. So he dives and he finds the key almost immediately.
Well, he knows it's Madame Moon's cat based on what?
He just has a feeling.
Yeah, the woman just goes like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this is a cat," and he goes, "That's not an ordinary cat. That cat belongs to a Chinese woman." And
Yeah.
you're like,
It's
"Wait,
like,
whoa,
whoa, what?"
What? How do you know
It's
that?
like just because it's a Siamese
He's
cat,
cat,
doesn't mean
yeah,
that,
right.
man. Like, no. So that
yeah.
happened. Okay, we gotta
Then
keep
he-
going.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
get no
He
go.
dives
We
in.
keep going.
He gets the key.
We're
Well,
almost
no, he
to the
dives
good
in
stuff.
the first time, finds nothing, comes back up. He goes back down. Then she hears like tires squealing,
Mm-hmm.
and you see a car turn a corner, and he goes back down, and then it shows him looking for it. He finds the key, pops up, she's not there.
Right.
He's like, "What the fuck?" He gets out of the water. He looks down. She's way far away running, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on
Happening,
again?"
Right, yeah.
So then he follows her. She ends up in this big like boat like storage facility. I mean, it was like racks of like boats, I guess you rent and
Right.
stuff. And he runs into her there. Then a car pulls up to a screeching halt, and he's like, "Joanna," that's her name. I just remembered it. Joanna.
She has a name.
Well, no, the stripper. We've been calling her the
Right.
stripper. all
Stripper,
movie. I just
yeah,
realized
right.
what her
Joanna,
name was.
yeah,
Joanna.
He goes, "Joanna, what the fuck are you doing?" And then the car pulls up. The roommate and a small child get out, and
Yes.
the child goes, "Mommy!" And
Yeah,
we were like,
like,
"What?
Yes.
What is this?"
So this whole time,
She's
her
been-
child has been kidnapped and held
So is
for
it not
ransom.
her roommate? Is it like a nanny?
No, she dances with her at the club
Oh, okay.
because
What
she
they
says,
probably
"Are
do
you
is
going to be
opposite
home later?"
shifts.
Yeah.
to
And
watch
one
each
watch each
Exactly.
other's
children.
kid.
Maybe they
Exactly.
both
But
have kids,
at this
maybe.
point, it almost made me think like the whole time she was lying, and
Yes,
for her child's
like-
sake,
Yeah.
I guess.
This is
Like when he
incredibly-
originally threatened her, did he like? We just didn't see him say, "I have your kid." So
Right.
So what's this room? This is my roommate's room.
I
What's
think
this
he
room?
didn't
It's my
even have the
child's
kid.
room.
I don't think he even had the kid until he went over to find her and found the roommate home, probably with the kid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then he used the kid now.
That's what I think.
It just seemed like a double cross moment when they did this. When she grabs the kid and then looks at him, and it's like,
Yeah.
wait, did you know this was going here? What's happening? You know?
Right.
Did you know your child was showing up?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Right.
She's like, "Look, I had to do all this to save my kid." And he's like, "God damn it, this is fucked. I have the key though." And then the hitman shows up also in a car, and he starts
Yeah.
kicking the shit out of Scott.
Scott, right? Yeah.
And all the women leave, and the women and the boy leave in the car. I do not understand what happens at the end of the scene. Do you guys?
Wait.
Where he beats the shit out of Scott, and then he takes the key from him, and he's like,
and he knows exactly where
at
it
the
is.
central whatever station. Then he points a gun at him like he's gonna shoot him. Madam Moon does some weird psychic
Stuff,
shit,
right.
and that scene ends. And
it just like cuts.
Yeah, it cuts away.
It cuts away. It doesn't.
It doesn't
show you what happened. Doesn't
She
explain
stopped
what
him
happened?
from getting
How?
shot. Suggestion.
So finally, like, wait, okay.
Fuck it.
I'm trying to think of how this transitions into all the stuff.
We just need to get to
We just need to get to
Moon's
the stuff.
apartment.
I
My
think this is
God.
when they go.
Yeah, right.
But how do they get there?
He wakes up and is all fucked up. He calls. That's it. He calls the police. The police are all like,
I don't know.
we don't
what's
have
happening.
a goddamn clue what any of this is, but we're
Right.
pretty sure this Scott Edwards guy is a part of it.
Right.
Then the phone rings and it's Scott. He goes, "It's Scott Edwards."
Wait.
And the lieutenant's like, "What are you doing? You're a murderer." And he goes, "I'm innocent, and I didn't kill anybody." And then he sees the cat and just drops the phone.
Yeah, that's
He
right.
drops
And he
the phone.
follows the
Isn't
cat.
this also not long after, not long before the police do that whole thing where they take Scott's birthday,
Yes, and they
the Chinese New Year, and they're like,
and they flip it
it's-
upside down.
He was born on the 6th day of the 6th month of 1966.
No, they haven't gotten to the legend yet.
Okay.
At this point,
Okay. When they're all upside down. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
This movie is dense as shit.
Okay, so
It's so dense.
Oh. No, yeah, they trace the phone call to the doc. The cat takes him back to his apartment first, where he gets the amulet.
He gets the amulet. He has the amulet now.
His neighbor sees him getting coming back, calls the police who show up there.
because you can't trust a whore.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's already gone, and that's when he's at the apartment.
Right.
Because he has to go there first to get the amulet. For what? I don't understand.
Because at this point, he wouldn't know the amulet had any pertinence to what's happening.
And
Right.
it also
Yeah.
shows the guy, the hitman with the key, goes to Donald Pleasence. This is when that comes together.
Right.
Because he's like, master. He calls him master.
He does call
Because
him
he's like a
later.
true believer, is what they call him later.
Well, they're hinting at what's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have the key. I can go get it. Do you want it? And he goes, no, don't give it to me. Which I thought was weird. But I guess he knew it was about to happen. I guess.
I guess.
I don't know. And he's like, don't give it to me. Go
get the
Go
thing.
get the thing. And
The thing.
so then the greatest fucking scene in cinema history happens where Scott shows up at Madame Moon's apartment. She goes, hey, hi, remember me? And he's like, yes. She's like, well, let me blow your mind a second.
Yeah.
I've known
I am
you-
an immortal being that has kept the stone of evil trapped in my urn of knowledge until Donald Pleasence in a baby mask fucked me and stole it. And now I am old and dying, and Donald Pleasence is the king of evil with my evil boar statue.
Also, I've been in control of your life since you were born.
I've
I've been following your
you.
life since you were born.
Yeah, the
and-
amulet you have holds your life force within it.
Dude, what? I could not even.
You're really underselling. Like,
I know.
there's a flashback of Donald Pleasence in a baby
A
man
baby
fondling
mask. And
an
then it
Asian woman's
breaks.
breath.
Yeah, and then they're like fucking, and the mask breaks, and then
It
he's in like
explodes.
it explodes, and it's in like kabuki makeup.
He's got like dragon face, like
Yeah.
red, black, or
Jesus,
green, red.
it's-
Like, oh my
It's
god.
incredible. It's
And then she's like, he just seduced me and stole my boar statue out of my urn of knowledge. It's so good. It's so amazing. It
Yeah,
really
and
makes no sense.
her aging is connected to the boar statue, so she's an old woman now.
But she used to be young and beautiful,
Young-
which they are sure to describe
Right.
and
Show.
emphasize and
Right.
show.
Show her breasts.
She used to
a
be
lot.
young and beautiful.
So
God
she
damn
also
it.
explains that Donald Pleasence stole the boar to become super evil, to pretend to be a priest for some reason. I don't even
There's
understand.
some commentary on religion there,
Yeah.
I guess.
And then,
yeah.
but his son was born on the same day as Scott, and he's like the epitome of good, because that guy's the epitome of evil, because they've been watched over by these two forces essentially.
Yeah,
Right.
and it what it turns out is
Well, she says that even though the son is good, he still has vices.
yes.
And his vice is being a peeping Tom.
Yes. But I
But
think he's the one when they're talking about the sole survivor from the mass suicide in Guyana.
That was him.
I think that's him.
So and then she also says that she got what's the boy's name? The son of Donald Pleasence? I forget his name.
Who cares?
The thumbless guy. She got the thumbless son to steal the boar statue from his father, but then because of his earthly corruption, he decided to use it for his own means, and he hid it in a locker with the key. So so she could, it's like she convinced Donald Pleasence's son to steal the boar. He then double-crossed her and hid the boar, and then had a key, and then she knew where he was with the key, and then made events occur so that Scott would show up there with a rickshaw and a prostitute, basically.
No, because Donald Pleasence's son is the one who got her to pick him up. Or was he just supposed to pick up anyone?
He's just supposed to pick up anyone, and
She did, yeah.
She did it.
Okay.
She
That makes more sense.
made everything kind of happen like that.
Yeah.
I don't know
Jesus
why that you did
Christ.
it. She did it this way though. It seems nuts.
Yeah.
So now no one has the board. Yeah.
It's just languishing.
It's languishing in like a locker. It doesn't. Yeah.
Right.
She explains all that. She also then goes, and behind door number 2 is the prostitute and her child. And they come out, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And she goes, "I've been on your side the entire time, Scott. I just couldn't tell you." When the fuck? When did she meet the Man of Moon? When? Like before all of it?
I don't know.
Before the boat?
Because she was at
Before
random.
the boat?
And then
Was she in on it before the boat?
I don't know.
What the fuck are you talking about?
and then
That's what I was saying. Like I wanted to go insane earlier when we were talking about when we were on the boat. Because like if she already knew Man of Moon then, what the fuck are you doing? She would know about the key, which was around the guy's neck.
Yeah. Why would
And when he
she?
was knocked unconscious, she could have grabbed it and left. And you didn't need Scott. You didn't need anybody. Sorry. It's insane.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't understand.
No, she
that
did know her
would
for
cut
the
out
boat.
like a good 2/3 of that movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it could have been about Madame Moon using a
A
stripper
stripper to steal it from a pervert.
Yeah.
who was already susceptible to having strippers around.
Yes.
Why
So
didn't she
anyway-
just
Say
say
my brain hurt,
Let me
man.
throw-
I was
let
like,
me
what
throw-
do you mean you were always on his side?
If I could just throw this in a wrench.
Were you on his side when he slapped you in the face?
When he held you at 8, boy?
Were you on his side?
Well, let me just throw this out there too. Madame Moon also has she knows exactly where the thumbless boy was. You know, the thumbless man
But
was.
not the locker. But
Well, she does that, but
She can set a house on fire from miles
Miles
away.
away.
She can't pick a lock.
but I was gonna say as far as
Get
stealing.
him in a
that looks like
locker.
it's in a subway station or a train station
Well, hold
or
on.
something.
I was gonna say everything you said. That's one point of view, but you could also say she knows where this dude is. She also has full control over a cobra and a cat, and all you have to do is get a key off a human being's neck.
And you
It
can't
seems
do
to
it.
me like
dude.
those two animals could take down a thumbless idiot pervert without the intervention of any human beings doing anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, you already have lackeys in the form of beasts that you could send out to get a key. Why are you making...
They don't have the dexterity.
I mean, come on, though.
Yeah, you're right,
It's
man.
like she has control over the animal kingdom, basically. She can deal with those two.
Maybe.
That cobra can't
well-
bite and kill him, and then the...
All right,
It
we
doesn't
gotta-
matter.
We gotta keep going.
It doesn't matter.
So
It
now we get a
doesn't-
shot of the hitman walking. He is like squeezing this key in the palm of his hand.
Yes.
And he's moving really weird.
Like
He's
it's hurting,
Like
it's
it's hurting
pain,
him.
yeah.
And he's walking up to the thing. It melts a hole in his hand.
It
It's
melts
kind of awesome,
all the way through his
actually.
hand.
Yeah, it's kind
That's
of
when
awesome.
it turns into a horror movie.
Yeah. It melts a hole right through the palm of his hand and then melts into the floor and disappears.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all like, everything we just said again. If she can make the key impossible to put in the fucking lock, what are we doing? It can sit in there forever.
Yeah, I know.
It's like Get Shorty.
Okay.
It's like
Are we
the person
sure?
who opens this thing gonna explode? Like, why is no one just going there?
Are we
Nobody. Donald Pleasence
Are we
won't
sure
do
it
She
wasn't the
won't do
boar
it.
though? Are we sure it wasn't the boar's power that was doing the key thing and not her?
But it's evil.
Oh,
It should want him to have it. The thing itself
Yeah, I guess
is
you're
evil.
right.
She's like the protector of it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So he fails.
The key like melts
But
into
then
the
he waits
ground
around,
too.
he
by
waits
the way.
So that's why I said it's like mystical. It's gone. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like
Gone.
pawing at the ground.
And
It's
then like
not
she's
there.
like, Madam Moon's like, you gotta go get the thing for me, which actually doesn't like. It's like he knows exactly where to go, so it's not like a big deal. So he gets over there to try to get the thing.
Well, I love the hitman calls Donald Pleasence to be like,
the
key melted through
my
my
that's right.
hand.
and into the floor and it's gone.
He did
He's
say
like,
that.
well, just wait for them to come open it then.
Yeah. Oh, and then he goes to see the witch lady.
Oh shit! He just went through to get that key. It was here, man. That's not real. I can't.
It's pretty
believe it.
amazing.
So they go to get the key and the thing.
Right.
And then he goes, the Reverend guy goes to see the witch. And that's when they have their showdown.
Which is probably the best scene in the movie.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's Donald
Easily.
Pleasence versus Madam Moon.
A crippled Asian witch. It's
Right.
so good.
And like she sends her cobra after him.
Well, she goes, "You can't defeat me this time. I've learned to protect myself."
and she just zips around on her wheelchair.
Chair, and then it's like
See?
it shows the cat and the snake, and he's like, "Okay, whatever."
And the cat flies at Donald Pleasence. It's great.
Like a missile.
That's
and just
what I'm
starts
saying.
eating
This
him.
display of power, I'm like, you could have gotten the key with these things.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
This scene proves that key could have just been gotten by a cat.
So Donald Pleasence
So-
fights a snake
And a cat.
Snake.
A snake. A sneaky snake
Oh yeah,
attack.
it's just, and it's about as great as we're saying
Yeah,
it
I
is. Like
mean,
you need to see
Imagine
it.
Donald Pleasence at like
Fighting
70
a-
years old fighting a cat and a
snake.
snake. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He throws them across the room and then goes, this is the exact line. I love this line. Now you will never be able to stop me. Like, now.
I've taken your best down. I am unstoppable.
Cat and the snake. You'll never stop me now. I'm invincible.
Yeah.
And then she does somehow, but he starts strangling her. And she prays to, like, what does she call it? The God of Wisdom?
Oh,
God
yeah.
of wisdom,
Help
help
me.
me. She says it twice.
And
God of
then-
wisdom, help me.
Smoke starts filling the room. The heat
And he starts
can't
not
breathe.
being able to breathe. It's really odd.
And then he goes, well, I pretty much won anyway. I'm out of here.
Yeah,
and like
yeah, and then
runs
he
up.
just, like,
it's an
flips.
amazing scene because you could just cut it out of the movie and just
Show it to
watch
somebody,
it.
they
You just
would
watch that scene. It's great. Yeah.
God
it's-
of knowledge, smoke. Like,
Right.
what? Okay.
It reminded me
So
of
good.
the stones at the end of Troll 2, like
Oh, yeah.
the power of good and all that. It's just
Yeah.
so generically the things they're saying is so generic. Right, he leaves, and then
they get to the train station. How do they have a key?
They don't have a key.
How does he open?
I think he like opens it with the amulet or something. He doesn't have a key.
no, he doesn't. The key doesn't come into play again. He knows where it is.
Okay. Yeah, they don't. I don't.
Damn it!
Okay.
How did he open it?
The whole first half of the movie is about that key, and then he.
I think he
doesn't
just
need to
opens
open
it.
It's just open.
I think it might just. No, I
No.
don't think it's just open.
Are we forgetting it?
Yeah, where would he have gotten the key?
How do
He
we
didn't
forget?
have a key. He never had a key.
Well, he goes to the train station and opens the fucking locker somehow because he pulls out the bore,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and they're like, "All right, let's seal this bitch in the urn." And
Right.
He gives it back to.
well, no, the hitman follows them.
Right.
You
Right.
see him chase or following them.
Right.
What the fuck?
We're all
happens?
we're almost there.
I know.
Oh my god. They have the boar. He's chasing them.
After that Donald Pleasence
Oh,
scene,
he
it was
like
pretty
he
exhausting.
like hits him though, and he like the boar like flies out of his hands at one point.
Yeah, and they're like fighting on the ground to get to
is
the
Right.
this at the
boar.
train station?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, okay, all right, they're at the train station. They get the boar. the guy starts chasing after Scott. The woman calls, or
The
Joanna
woman's
gets
like,
the
call
police.
the cops.
Yeah.
She finds the police, tells them there's a murderer. They start following her. Then there's that weird chase scene through all the fucking stairs. And then Scott seemingly jumps in front of a train and dies, but doesn't.
Because he has the amulet.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, and
amulet
ends up-
protects him somehow.
Somehow.
It doesn't
ends
show you
up-
what happens
And he
there.
just ends up somewhere else in the building. And you're
Right.
just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Then they're still being chased. She sees them. They get out of the train station. They're running on tracks, and her and the cops are also following.
Right.
That's when he trips. Scott steps on the track.
Because he's running on the tracks, not the ground.
Yeah,
It was
not the
really
ground.
odd.
He trips on the track, falls over, drops the boar. The hitman tackles him. They get into a fight. Somehow, I don't remember. They're like wrestling, and Scott gets the boar back.
Scott ends up with the boar at the end of the scene.
Yeah, because then he's chasing him again, and he gets hit by the train. The hitman gets run over by a big ass train.
Yeah, it's great too.
It's a really good shot.
It's
Yeah.
a dummy getting
Oh,
hit by
that's
a
right.
train.
That's right.
It looks like Freddy got fingered or something. It's,
And
like, it's
then-
really funny looking.
The police show up. Joanna starts crying for whatever reason. And Scott takes the board back to Madame Moon. This is why the ending's confusing, because it sort of is really anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, he
it
takes
gives
the
the
board
Madame
back to
Moon,
her. She goes,
She
oh,
puts it
thank
back
you.
in the urn, and then she gets instantly
becomes
young.
She's all super hot, and she's like, this is great. And he's like, we got to take down.
Yeah, but then it gets a little weird at the end.
we got to take
too.
down the Reverend. And she goes, nah, don't worry about it. Your job's here's done.
Yeah.
Enjoy your life. Have a good one.
Go and
Peace.
Go and marry the woman that
Yeah.
you threatened with death several
Yeah,
times.
several times.
Several times, yeah. And then it shows the Reverend on
She's
television.
like, he'll get his. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
So yeah,
Well, I
he's
guess
on-
now she's back to full power and can do whatever the fuck she
Yeah, she's like a
Exactly.
living god
Yeah.
now,
Exactly.
pretty much.
So then there's a rally that's the Reverend, and
He's talking about his son.
yeah, he's talking about his son and all that stuff, and it's like on TV and all this shit, and then like
I did love that. Whoever made this did hate televangelists.
yes,
Because it shows
This
the like
is
control
definitely it.
room, and it's someone in the crowd is crying, and the guy's
Yeah.
like, "Get a zoom in on that woman in the black hat crying. It's fucking
Right.
great. Like, get it on the latch kind
This
of
is
shit."
like the Italian leap of faith.
that's exactly what this is.
That's
Wow.
exactly what it is.
So then he's talking about his son, and blah blah blah. People are crying, and then is he done talking?
when the cameras, the cameras
It
start
goes to
fucking.
The cameras
up.
start getting fuzzy, and then she
That's
starts
right.
appearing on all the TV.
Well,
That's-
before that, he starts snorting. He
That's
starts
right, he
making.
starts snorting like a pig.
He can't finish sentences.
Yeah,
He
he's trying to talk and he
Yeah.
keeps like snorting like a
Yeah.
pig. Then she shows up on the cameras and is like, "Hey, Samuel." That's his name, Samuel.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, it's weird how he got like flashes of like
Right,
an actual
right.
screenshot of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay, Samuel. She's like, "Hey, Samuel, you fucked up. This is what you get for being evil. All your shit is falling apart. You are fucked. You hired." She explains that he hired someone to kill his son for all this
Right.
stuff, and stole her evil urn and all this, or the boar of evil.
Not that anyone
And
watching
everybody
would
in the room
remotely
would be
get
like,
it.
"Wait, what's the boar
Yeah,
of evil
right?
part? I didn't
And
get that."
the whole time, his wife, who
It's
is
like-
a character that was a nil character that we don't know throughout the whole movie,
all
is
she's done is sob.
Yeah.
she's sitting there silently, like almost thinking.
Right.
She's like dealing with what's happening while looking at
Right.
the floor.
And then Donald
You know?
Pleasence is like, "Tell them, honey. Tell them I'm a good person." And she's like, "No, you're a fucking monster."
You're the
Yeah.
you're the devil. You're
Yeah.
the devil.
And then
And then
she
she's like,
pulls
I'm
out a
tired
gu-
of suffering in silence.
living in your shadow, and she pulls out a gun and shoots him.
And she just shoots him.
Drops dead on
And
the
then
ground.
he drops dead, and then he starts to
Well, the
actually...
police show up. The
Oh,
police
yeah,
show up.
police
The
show up.
police
Right.
stop.
Yes.
And they're like, "Why'd you do it?" Blah blah blah. And she goes, "He was," or no, yeah. Then
She was like, he was the devil, and then he starts to turn into a hog.
Yeah,
or
it's
a
like,
boar.
like it comes out of his body.
Yeah, it starts to like,
Like, boar
protrude
parts
out
start
of his
shooting
hands,
out.
like
And his feet, hooves come out of his feet.
and it's like the snout comes out of his mouth.
his face, front of his face, just explodes.
It's some very fun like FX
Yeah,
stuff.
it is.
And that's when it becomes like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? It's
Was
like,
he a? Is that just the effect of
Did
having
she
the
do
boar for
that?
so long?
Or was he actually like? Is this like Chinese, like ancient lore where he was actually like a pig demon that
Oh.
tricked her into stealing
Oh,
That's what I'm
His
saying.
totem,
Was he
like,
that?
maybe that was his
That was
true
original
form.
form, or
Yeah, like think of like Journey to the West kind of
Yeah,
stuff. Like he
yeah.
might have been a pig demon that got his own totem to be extra powerful to become like a fake,
right?
or just to get all this money for being a preacher.
Right.
Because he's greedy, because he's a boar.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a million things.
Because there's that one scene where the guy's like, "Do you want to read my book about Chinese astrology so you can get a handle on some of this stuff?" And the detective's like, "Fuck off."
Yeah.
This
He's just like,
movie
"Yeah,
is
I think so."
1990s. When did the like Tammy Faye Baker stuff? When was that peak of that stuff?
I mean, that's still going on now, but
Like, you know what I mean? Like when they had their
yeah, I mean,
big
like
scandal.
80s and stuff.
Okay. This, you know what I mean? Like her saying, "I've
70s,
suffered
80s.
enough in silence" and stuff.
Yeah.
It just is like, this is definitely somebody was thinking of something
Yeah.
specific when they were doing this, because it comes out of nowhere that his wife is the one who kills him.
Right.
It's just like, oh shit. They
And
wanted
then
to
she's
throw
like,
that
he
in.
really was the devil. And everybody's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and they believe her because he turns into a pig.
Because he turns into a pig.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Right.
that's not murder.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I guess. Is it? I mean, if the man turns into a pig, then what did she shoot?
I guess
Yeah, I
they're
don't
just gonna like
I don't know.
go about your business, ma'am.
Yeah, I guess you're not under arrest. So then it shows us Scott one more time.
Scott and the prostitute. And
Oh, she's a strip.
striptease artist.
Striptease
Striptease
artist.
artist.
Referred to as a
Striptease artist.
Yeah, it's her, him, and her son. They're outside the building. Then Madame Moon's in. They're like, let's just stop by and say thanks for making our lives better through
That's
weird
right.
mysticism. And
They go
pig
in
people.
and it's all empty.
It's all empty except
she's
for
gone.
one book that's from somebody named Confucius.
Confucius. The movie did start with a Confucius
Oh,
quote
that's
that we
right.
didn't
We
say.
forgot about that.
What is it?
I forgot
The
what
way the way
way
that is the way is
is
not
not
the
the-
ordinary
the
way.
way.
Yes.
Which is probably like the screenwriter. Like, that's how I'm writing this. So
Yeah,
Yeah, you think it's an ordinary movie?
he took that and a bunch of coke and just went ape shit.
yeah, way with it. But yeah, so
and then
it's,
they also find the cat. And they're
they
like,
find
oh,
the
she
cat
left,
and a
like,
book
an
of
aspect
Confucius
herself.
quotes.
And
Yeah,
then-
and she's like, she left a piece of herself, and then that's it.
and then no, well,
Yeah,
she
in
kind of
the
says
end,
she's
it
like,
zooms in on the cat. And it's
well,
over.
she says right before it ends, she said that like it's a beautiful view, and it was like, let's live here type of a vibe. Like, wait,
Yeah.
what?
She's like, oh, the
Yeah.
view's still good.
So they're gonna live at that? What happened here? Okay, and then you're right.
Who knows? It just
It's
stops.
fucking over.
And you're like, thank you. God. I love it. Love it.
Oh no,
Absolutely love it.
it's great. It's just
Absolutely love it.
it's so dense. It took us way longer to recall this movie than I
yeah,
thought
because
it
there's
would.
so many moving parts.
We didn't even
It's
talk
stupid, and
about
we missed a lot of it.
The police and the whole like Chinese numbers turning them around
Yeah.
thing. We didn't even talk about that.
Because it was
Yeah.
Fine.
stupid. It
It's
didn't
dumb.
even need
It
to
doesn't
be.
matter.
The
No,
cops
you don't
did
even-
not need to be.
They didn't even need to be
involved.
in that movie at all.
Oh, no.
You should have just known that he
That
was
cops were
wanted.
looking for them
Right,
and then just
right.
don't
You
have
almost
them in
didn't
there.
even need that. Like, why frame him at all? Well, I guess because
Trying to figure out Madame Moo's plan.
Moon.
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 M-O-O-N. That-
Madame Moon's plan is very hard. I don't know what she exactly
don't
was
know yet.
trying to do.
Why? She's like, you never got in touch with me. Well, why didn't you just call him or
Yeah,
something, man?
Tell him what. Maybe that's
phone.
what the letter said. That's probably what.
Well, no, the letter
But that's
definitely said to come get him. But when you sent that letter and you know he opened the box because you're fucking looking at him through magic, call him.
Just call him.
Send another letter.
It's a bit passive aggressive, if you
Yeah.
ask me. It's rude.
Also,
She's like, well, he's the chosen one, so it's got to work out.
Right.
I don't need to go out of my way. to make
Also,
sure
I guess she couldn't tell him that she's been watching him since he was a kid.
Right. Why
Like,
don't you
and
just
not- why
lead
now?
with that? Why don't you just
Lead with that. Hey, there's an amulet of your whole soul, your whole story written
Yeah.
on it,
Here it is.
and it's
Got it.
lucky, and it'll keep you protected from things. Nope, I have to write in a letter, and I can see you throw it away. So fuck you. I'm just gonna send you on my house of tricks.
I got ate by rats like immediately. Because there was a scene where he
Right.
thought about getting it,
Yeah,
where she was trying to be like, "Hey, remember that letter? Read that letter."
Yeah.
She was
Right.
suggesting it to him, but the rats had eaten the fucking thing.
I recommend people watch this movie.
100%.
Dude, you should definitely watch this movie.
yeah,
Are you
no,
kidding
Especially
me?
this amazing quality rip on Amazon.
Oh God, that's what made it even better.
There were like points where
honestly.
you would
There's
just
nicks
there
and
was a
hum
line,
bars.
like a hum bar going down the whole, just the
Yeah.
sound quality changed and everything. It was
There's one time, there is a point in the movie where it loses tracking. Literally,
can't
and they
see
don't
anything
fix
for
it.
like 2 or 3
Yep.
seconds.
Yeah. I mean, it's not Amazon that's doing these transfers. It's the company that owns the movie, and they don't give a fuck. They just put all their old catalog up. And this was probably the only copy of American Rickshaw that the company itself even had. Think about that.
It's pretty nuts.
That's pretty insane that the company itself probably, this is the best copy. So...
Well, what fucking studio is it? It's not like they have a vault.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
This is in somebody's like garage.
yeah. And it's a VHS tape of that.
It's like, oh, you want what? I think I have it out here.
Yeah,
Just
there
like,
you
just
go.
go look
Just here's
back
the
there.
best copy. I got one VCR left.
There's a
still not
hornet's
good. It's
nest.
the
Please
best
do not
cover.
disturb it. I have not treated it yet. Thank you.
Also, it's been sitting next to some black mold, so be careful.
Yes, just maybe wet a bandana
Spray some
and
bleach.
Put it
breathe
over your
through
head.
it.
You have one of those SARS masks if you want to
There
get it
you
out of
go.
the storage. Jesus. All right. This is a great
Fucking
movie.
great. Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. Please watch this.
Gotta watch it.
Thank you, Kathy.
Oh, you're welcome. It's
I know,
always a
we
pleasure.
always-
That was great. I'm glad it was a lot of sifting.
I feel
we
like
did a lot.
we did a lot of sifting,
We
but we
found
came
gold.
winner.
We hit
Yeah.
gold.
We always seem
We
to
found gold in
find.
that band.
We found love in a hopeless place.
I feel like we always seem to find a really good misogynist movie for you, Kathy.
Yeah, no, it's good.
We don't. I mean, we don't know going in, but you know,
But honestly, that's most of them for a long
she's
time.
got
that's kind of
so-
movies in general.
Yeah.
So
when you're watching movies for men in the 80s and early 90s, it's not very women positive.
Yeah.
When he slaps her, I had no clue it was going there. It's
Oh my God,
The
no.
tone of this movie changes with one
Well, because
slap.
he's so nice to the old lady
And
at the
it's like-
beginning, and
yeah.
he's like smiling like
He's
a
like a
fucking
hero.
goon.
And
Like,
he looks like a hero lifting her
Yeah.
up, and then it's like, bam, like, oh boy,
you
Never
dumb
mind.
bitch.
Yeah,
Like,
right. It changes hard and fast. And then you're just on that ride of waiting for Donald Pleasence to fight a cat and a snake.
so good.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Bye. Thank you, Kathy.
Thanks.
Good night.
You've just listened to Bonus Disc, available only on Thundergrunt. Questions, complaints, and movie suggestions can be posted to facebook.com/bonusdisc. Opinions and criticisms of the hosts of Bonus Disc are 100% valid, even though they took the time to watch the movies you were too ignorant to appreciate.